Hello everyone, my name is Neil and I make videos about living and studying in India. I want to talk to you all about a very specific thing that many students who come from India to Germany face here in their classrooms as well as in their accommodation, and that is having too many Indians around themselves. You could be living with Indians, or you could be enrolled in a master's program which has a very high number of students from India. Now, this can affect you negatively in two ways. What you need to understand is that Germany is a country where German is the major language, unlike UK, US, Australia, where many Indian students have been going. And in order to get a high paying job after a master's, to at least increase the chances of you getting a high paying job, you need to be very comfortable with German. I don't mean completely fluent, but you need to be able to speak German easily. And this requires a lot of time and energy. And what basically happens is that when you have Indian flatmates, or when you have a very large group of Indian students in your class, all the conversations that you have, they by default switch to English, Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, or some Indian regional language. Now, there is nothing wrong with it, but just understand that if you want to live in Germany after completing your studies for 5 6 years, or if you eventually want to settle down, even when you apply for a blue card, you have to demonstrate a certain level of fluency in German. I believe B1 or B2 level. And getting a B1 takes time. It has a certain learning curve. So you want to speak German every day so you can improvise, so you can get better at speaking German. And this obviously is not very easy to do in an environment where you have a large amount of Indians around you all the time. Now let's talk about the second disadvantage of having too many Indians around you. You often will have excuses not to go out of your comfort zone. This happens along two levels. The first thing, as I said, when you talk with Indians, you start talking in English or some regional language. We all have been talking with Indians since we were very young. So we know what we like to talk about. We know what we feel about certain issues. But when you speak to people from other countries, you have to take care of two things. The first thing is that if I speak in English with a person from, let's just say, France, Russia, or Uzbekistan, they may have started to learn English a little later in life. They may not speak as much English as a person from urban India does. So you have to slow down. You have to enunciate your words properly so that they can understand you in the first time, in the first attempt. This has a learning curve to it, and this does not happen instantaneously. Because in India, when we talk English, we are really accustomed to the way we speak English, to the words that we use. And to be very honest, the Indian accent of speaking English is very different from the accent that a person from France or a person from Italy speaks English in. And understand that all these people from all the other countries, they eventually are going to become your co-workers when you find a job after your master's degree. So why not begin when you are a student itself, that you must work every day in order to increase your conversational skills when it comes to language. When it comes to the subject of conversation, that's also a very interesting subject. For example, my roommate is from Latin America. He's from Panama. And in September, I was new to the apartment and I was telling him about some social issues, some social nuances that we have been facing or we have been experiencing in India. And he had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. Similarly, when he told me about the history of Panama all the things that Panama and the entire Latin American region went through in the last 2 centuries, I did not know anything about that particular subject. Similarly, there are many general social and various other issues and topics on which people from two countries, like people from India and people from some other country, have very, very different views on. So, in order to get oriented with how people from various cultures think, you want to start talking with people from other countries. And this is very difficult to do when you have a large number of Indians around you all the time, in the lab, in the classroom, in your apartment. Even I have seen this, that when people plan to travel to some city in Germany or to France or some other country, only Indians go together. Yeah, Indians form a small group and go together. So that's obviously something harmful when it comes to your overall development while you are a student here in Germany. One more thing that I want to talk about is that what is the solution? How can you ensure an optimum development, an optimum personality development in a global context when you are having a large number of Indians around you? The very simple, the very straightforward and the very blunt solution is to limit the contact that you have, limit the exposure that you have to Indians. You seriously want to control the number of Indian friends that you have. You want to have deep conversations only with a few Indians. So then you have the remaining space which can be occupied by people from other countries. So you can start having these conversations. For example, if my roommate was not from Panama, I would have known nothing about Latin American history, and that would be the end of it. My knowledge in that subject would have been zero. But now, after having lived with him for almost 5 months, I have acquired a lot of knowledge. So now when I possibly start to work for a company or work in a team having a Latin American person, I do know some background about where they come from. I know a context in which they grew up. So this is the simple solution. However, a very important thing to take care about is to not become arrogant or narcissistic or egoistic in any ways. Never consider that although you have Indian ethnicity, you are somewhat superior than the other Indians. Because understand this thing very well. In India, we have all these differences, we have all these opinions, we have these biases that he is from North India, she is from South India, or he grew up in a village, she grew up in a city. So they are different people, They are from South India, so they are like that. They are from this particular state, so they are like that. Understand that when a foreigner evaluates you, they evaluate you as an Indian, and that is the end of it. They do not care about where you come from. They often do not know that Indians have these differences. So what you want to do is to have a healthy balance. You want to have a limit when it comes to exposure to Indians. You intentionally want to initiate friendships and initiate conversations with people from other countries. But at the same time, you need to accept that the total number of friendships that you have, they will be a mix of people from multiple countries, and a small part of that will always be friendships with Indian people. So this was a motivational video. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you think that this video has helped you in any way, do share the video with someone who you know is planning to come to Europe for higher studies. If you want to suggest any topic for a further video, for my next video, use the comment section. Also, if you want to give any feedback, if you think that I was too blunt in this video, I was too harsh in my opinion in this video, use the comment section. If you have any question about studying in Europe, living in Europe, you can DM me on Instagram. The name of my account is Eastern Shark. The link is in the description. Also, I have made many videos when it comes to various things about living and studying in Europe, applying to European universities. The links for all those videos are in the description. My name is Neil and I make videos about living and studying in Europe. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye.